So this is part 2 of how to build your high performance estate agency. Thanks for watching part 1. I know you would have loved it, otherwise you won't be here, right? So part 2 is really, really juicy. It's about conflict. Now, I'm saying conflict to you. You're watching this. What's your first thought? Is that a negative thing or is it a positive thing? I'm giving you a minute. Actually, I can't give you a minute. You'll get bored and switch off. So, what do you think? Negative, I hear you say. No. This is where we've got it wrong in society. You know, when people say they love to debate, but they don't. They just love to tell other people what they think. You know, debate is actually what it should be. It's actually going into something to learn. Learn from somebody else's viewpoint, perspective. Take on what they think and say, and then challenge your own point of view. For me, conflict is healthy. It's how you have conflict that I'm going to talk about with you right now. So why am I saying how you have conflict? But we've talked about the difference between a dysfunctional and a high performance team. And there are so many differences that I've just put some of the first things that have come to my mind on the board because I need to demonstrate how you can go from one to the other. Now, what you tend to find in dysfunctional teams is most of the people in there are bored shitless. Right? They have their morning meeting, they sit there, they spin their wheels, someone tells that person that, and look, most people sit in there and they don't actually want to be there. That's one of the first mistakes that those guys make because they go through the same agenda every day, 365 or 364 days a year, right? Who wants to sit in that? I wouldn't. I want it to be lively and inspiring. And yes, you can make it lively, inspiring if you go and create different agendas, different topics for different days. One day, it could be about how we tackle this challenge together. Because what high performance teams do, instead of creating conflict, they extract ideas from their team. They talk through solutions, they solve things. Well, actually what happens in a dysfunctional teams is they ignore the controversial subjects. Things like house has come off the market, vendor's not very happy, it slides under the desk, no one wants to deal with it, goes out the door. That vendor is now not a client of the business, you spent 3 months trying to help them, no job done. So the controversial topic for that one is why have we lost that client? And then you get this. People sit there. They're ready to defend themselves. That's what you get in a dysfunctional team. But the why is actually solving the real challenge. Let's talk about why that didn't quite work out with that client. What have we won from that situation, learned from that situation, and what are we going to change to move forward? Because as a team, it affects you. As a team, that's your reputation that client's going to take out to the marketplace. That client that's just said, I'm taking the house off the market, gets ignored in a dysfunctional team, gets owned in a high performance team. And what the high performance team do is they decide on the best person to approach that client to actually go back with a solution and an offer that's going to continue the relationship. You see the difference? It's immense. But can you control those? 100% you can. The difference is as a leader, and I said look at yourself in the first video, is you've got to stay looking at yourself. As soon as you start going, well, you were looking after that client, why has that happened? It's okay to say, look, guys, this can't happen, and let me explain why. As a team, we own that client. What haven't we done and what do we need to do? There's a massive difference between the two. But what you tend to find in the dysfunctional team around conflict is they don't have the healthy conflict. In other words, healthy conflict over here, right, is about building on the trust that you've already got. It's about actually being playful with the challenges that you've got so you can have the conversations, but in an absolutely well-intended manner. Over here, conflict gets avoided because people don't feel they can go to that person with feedback or a question because they know that the barrier is going to be up. If you've ever worked with someone like that, what happens is you get further and further apart. And that goes for relationships as well. That's across the board. If you're in a relationship business, which we are, because a estate agency is an emotional industry, not the property industry, not just the people industry, it's the emotional industry. And we all live and breathe emotion and energy. If you're not able to have a difficult conversation because you're in fear of conflict, you are going to be playing third, fourth, fifth tier in this industry. You're not going to be in the top, the high performance. And it's because you're not in and around, in amongst people that accept responsibility, accept feedback, as well as praise. So the thing that these guys do here is they fall into a trap, and they fall into opinions, and they start to give their thoughts and start blaming others, and they start to waste people's time by actually doing the reverse of that in their mind, which is then to please people. They people please clients, like that one that's come off the market, instead of tell the client how we're going to get you to your outcome. Oh no, it's just the market. It's a bit quiet. Mortgage rates have gone up. Look, mate, I didn't ask you what's going on in the economy. I want to fucking know how you're going to sell my house. Don't make excuses. If it was on for £1, would I sell it? Yes. So it's not the market. You get my drift. But there's such a different mindset in this team. Imagine being in this team where you extract ideas, you solve real challenges. There's no politics. There's no gossip and drama. You know when you walk into a place and there's a bit of bitching, a bit of... Oh my God. That stuff drags the shit out of me. It drains me. I call them mood hoovers, right? They suck up the life of the energy of the room and they dump it over there and then they come back for some more. They just love talking about everybody else, wasting everyone's time and energy. Don't get that in here. Zero politics, zero gossip, zero drama. All they want to talk about is critical topics, actions that are on the agenda. We're here to deliver a result for our client. How we get there is how we work together. And I'm not going to make no bones about it. Sorry about my writing, guys, but you can just about read it. Healthy conflict is a healthy habit. You can't just ask for it, you've got to practice it. You've got to believe in it. You've almost got to seek it. So the thing that we do with our teams is we go out and have healthy conflict conversations with clients on a daily basis. And it's always the ones, when you think of a client, you think, oh my God, I've got to ring that client. That's the one. That's where you start. Most people start with their best mate, the vendor that has got on really well with them, the one that they could go to the pub with and have a chat. They're not the ones. Go to the one that's sitting there at home thinking, they're not working for me. That's why conflict's important. That's why healthy conflict's important, because you can go around and educate those clients with the market, with the data, with the stories. You can ask the questions, and then it becomes less about you and him and becomes more about the market and their outcome. So we've got loads of things. There's loads of videos that I've done around that, guys. You should check it out. I've got a training course which is just for you, which is all about how to double listings and double sales, not by making more viewings, not by making more valuations. It's doing better on the stuff that you've already got. This is about building the best team that you can, creating a high performance team, but you've got to have a high performance mentality. If you don't have a high performance mentality, you've got no chance. And the big thing that all of these teams will do is own, take responsibility, leave it with me, I'll get it fixed, let me go and find a solution. That's the kind of stuff you'll hear from them. Finally over here, what you hear is shit like this, right? Yeah, well I asked so-and-so to give you a call back. When the client's ringing in, they're thinking, well, I don't want to deal with this. That's down to my colleague. When I first started in a estate agency, I had a great manager, bless him. He was a nice guy. He was shit at this. He'd have clients ringing up, chasing him up all the time, and they'd say to me, I asked him to give me a call back. He hasn't called me back. And I'd say, this is what I'd say. This was at the age of 20, guys. I'd say, I did pass on the message. He has asked me to give you a call, so I'm sorry I haven't done yet. There's a bit of a difference between the two mindsets, right? Now I'm asking you to think about how you behave as a leader, as a member of a team. If you're in a team, do you have healthy conflict or do you avoid it through fear? Hopefully, there's only really one way to achieve the results that you want to achieve and the career that you want to achieve, and that's by being healthy. Be the change you want to see in your organisation. Be the change you want to see in your team. Be the change that your clients want to see in you. So look, why am I talking about this? Because I am training this more than ever. I am focusing on it more than ever because I know more than ever that I've got to practice what I'm preaching to you right now. I've got to make sure my teams start from the bottom up to get to this result that they all want to achieve, which will benefit everyone in the team. I've been working in this industry for 28 years. I've seen the best and the worst. I've been in the best and the worst. Over billions of pounds worth of sales. I've started the Gigs Group, got an amazing career training, teaching, mentoring estate agents, but also looking at you in the camera today, I've listed houses this year, I've sold houses this year, I'm in the market like you are this year. That's why you should continue to follow this journey. Come with me, subscribe, like. I've got more videos that I'm going to be doing just for you to help you get better and be the best real estate agent that you can be.